What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Tearlaments, a fan favorite deck that just never seems to die. And on the right side here, we have Azamina Rescue Ace, a deck that's got new support with the Azamina stuff, allowing us to play, once again, the Sinful Squirrels engine without having to play the Snake Eyes Ash and stuff like that. It is an option that you can play. We are going to be seeing the Rescue Ace deck going in the die roll here, but we're going to be able to set up an Omni-Negate now before we even activate our Turbulence in some cases, which is going to be quite nice. We are going to be seeing the Hydrant going to be normal summon. This is going to activate the effect, allowing us to search for a Turbulence itself. So most likely going to be trying to get those two Rescue Ace cards in the graveyard at this turn. And we are going to be seeing now the Wanted as well going to be activated. So now we have access to both engines here, which can give us a Omni-Negate before we go for that Turbulence. This is going to kind of be the main priority of the deck. We also have Diabellstar, which can then discard a Rescue Ace card, allowing us to kind of fuel up that graveyard like we mentioned before, which can be quite nice. And so here we are going to send a Fualros to the graveyard, the new Molcharmer card. So having a going second card as well if we needed to be able to then summon out the Diabellstar, placing the copy of Deception face down. We're now going to be linking away the Hydrant for a Anima. Then we go up into the Preventer here, summoning itself out, and then we go Deception to tribute off the Preventer. This is going to allow us to get an additional body on the field here, essentially a free send off the Deception, which is going to be quite nice. And then we can go for the Hallowed Azamina, sending the Deception to summon out the Silvera. We do not need to have access to the Bat one, the Realm Glacier, the Ultra Rare, because we already have access to the Wanted and stuff like that, and we already have the Hydrant, therefore we don't need the OSS. So we go up for our Omni-Negate, and now we can link those two away if we want to, or we have an Emergence in hand, so we can also go up into a bigger body. But there's different options that we can do. We can link 3 up into the Princess, and then Princess can bring back out a Preventer. It's going to allow us to Book of Moon something, but we're just going to link away immediately for a Raging Phoenix. It's not going to make too much of a difference, and then we get to banish both to summon out the Turbulence. Turbulence can then activate the effect setting, and we are protected by the Silvera there, so we have an Omni-Negate on the field. We're going to be setting the Rescue, the Contained, and the Alert, and they do throw over a Amblawil there because they was we're looking for a rare because they only have the Ultra, and he doesn't want to play an Ultra anymore. So we do set the copy of Emergency, Contain, Extinguish, and I think a Rescue there. We already had an Emergency in the hand, which was interesting though. But we may not play Alert anymore. We're going to banish the Wanted to put back the Deception and drawing a card. This because we don't need access to it anymore. We just want to value that and draw more. And then we just set one and then we pass. So we have a pretty nice board here with the Silvera, Raging Phoenix, and a Hydrant, or a Turbulence, I should say. If the Turbulence does see something get off the field, it can pop a card as well, which is going to be pretty nice against the deck. We do have a setup now. Unfortunately, playing against Tear is not going to be the easiest for this deck. Tear still has a lot of different ways they can kind of deal with boards. We do see a special summon of a Fenrir. This is going to be a pretty problematic card just for how powerful it is. Going to be putting a lot of pressure on the board immediately. But we're going to be able to activate the effect, searching for a Tear Cache. And that's what I mean, for the power of Fenrir. Fenrir is nuts in this deck. So not only do you get to search for another a Tear card, essentially, which is going to be allowing you to mill 3 or up to 5 potentially. You also have the pressure that you can just apply with just one Fenrir on the field. It does warrant sometimes to just remove it. But if they have the other one, they have the other one, which they have had before in the past. So it's kind of hard because what do you exactly want to stop? The deck's just all gas. There's no hand traps. So we see a Scream going to be activated here, and this is not going to be negated. And then we normal summon a Rhino Heart. We're going to be seeing the Rhino Heart as well as the Scream get activated. And now we get to send a custom card as well as sending 3 from the top of the deck to the graveyard. We do see that resolve. It's also interesting that we didn't even see the Fenrir being destroyed by the princess. Like, we didn't value that at all because we want to hit one of their more important cards if they maybe go for a Bahamut Shark, something like that, or maybe even up into something else. But like, at this point, are you worried about maybe having a Mud Dragon being made now? So like, they have a send, and they do miss off of the Scream. They hit, of course, one Rhino Heart. Now, they already have a Rhino Heart on the field, so it's not going to be that huge. But we do have the Havness in the graveyard now. So we're going to go Havness 1, Rhino Heart 2. It's going to protect the Fuse, as well as dump potentially the Tear Cache to the graveyard, which can now mill 2 more. And then we're going to put back Imsteady and a Havness to go up into a Mud Dragon. And now Princess will pretty much not be live. We're going to be seeing on a new chain the Tear Cache, which can then activate its effects. And that's going to be allowing us to mill 2 more cards here as well. So we do hit Imadora, and a Sullic. Sullic will then activate its effects, allowing us to search our deck once again. And hitting Medora is kind of crazy as well, especially in a deck like this where you can shuffle back like your opponent's Azamina cards, letting it so that we just can't access the Hallow back to the hand can be quite crucial. We're going to see them search for another Tear Cache here, very interestingly enough. I mean, this will give us the opportunity to mill 3 more cards. So, like, it does make sense, but it's just, like, kind of interesting that we see that being the card that you want to add. I guess you don't want to add the Havness because you're not going to really have a choice, and, like, you don't have another discard. It's kind of crazy that we chose to send, we chose to return the Imsteady now. I don't know if we had any other cards we could do, but, like, Imsteady is a crazy card, being able to be just brought back consistently onto the field, and like having the Horus engine in the deck is just very nice. That engine is extremely underrated in today's format, I find. It was a deck for a bit, even Horus Rescue Ace was a thing, but it doesn't really feel like it shined that much, I guess, when you compare it to the Sinful Spoil engine from the same exact set. Like, Agolf was cracked. Definitely was the age of the Overlords. Looks like we have a planet in the hand as well here, so having an additional way to get another body. Just lots of searching cards here. We're going to see Tear Cache activates, banishing the Sullic, then we're going to activate the effect, allowing us to now mill 3 more. And we do hit an Imsteady. I didn't see the other cards that we hit there. But I believe we see now Mud Dragon going to activate its effects, trying to change. And we do change Silvera to that, going to be negating the effect. It always feels like super weird when you do this because it is still now a water. And then, your opponent can't really target anything still. We do go Emergence on this, which is going to send and summon out Preventer. Preventer can then activate its effects, I believe, allowing us to bring back out. But we do see Fenrir trying to banish the Turb. We do hit that with the Reinforce, or Contain, I believe. And then we're going to be able to bring back out the Hydrant here. We're going to be able to make a Bahamut Shark pretty much right away, though, which is going to be a problem for us. We have gotten rid of the Fenrir effect, which is pretty nice for us. They tried to hit the Turbulent, which is definitely going to be a good hit. We had to use our Contain on that, which is not going to be that bad because we get to summon out the copy of Hydrant. We would be able to do a little bit more if we had the Hydrant on it first. But we do go now for a Totally Awesome, so we have a negate on the field. Princess is now going to be a little bit harder to achieve in this case. And then we still have the Field Spell in the hand as well, which is pretty nutty. And a King Stark. Okay, so yeah, that's why we discarded the Imsteady, or we returned the Imsteady earlier, because we had the King Stark in the hand already. We didn't need that additional draw. It's going to be just essentially pretty broken. We can summon back the Unsteady right away because we do have the one in the graveyard already. We did mill it earlier. But yes, now we're going to be kind of thinking if we can find a way to stop that King Sark. I don't think we necessarily have a way to stop it, though. I don't think any of our cards interact with any spells and traps. I'm not even sure that Hydrant or Turbulence can destroy one. I guess you can target one card on the field and destroy it. So you do have that way to kind of destroy it, but they have to destroy one of your cards first, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. But we're going to be shuffling back the Princess with the Medora here. That's going to allow us now to summon out the Unsteady with Freedom without it having any fear of being destroyed by that Princess. Then we activate the Tearlaments field spell, having the final card in the hand being. That was definitely pretty crazy. Having those two cards, and we're going to search for the third Tear Cache. We love this card being searched to our hand. It's kind of crazy how many times we have searched it. And we do activate a Contained, I believe, or an Extinguish here. And they're going to take it up and read. Now we do control a Hydrant, so it's not going to be able to activate its effects for the rest of this turn, but looks like we're thinking if we want to let this resolve. But no, it's going to destroy the Unsteady there, and then that's going to be... destroying the Unsteady is actually pretty great, honestly, because if we would kept it on the field, it's going to be able to have the effect of sending the card to the graveyard, not destroying it with the King Sark, and then it just has so many different effects as well. But we do go Battle Fades, Tear Cache, hit over the Raging Phoenix, and now everything's boosted by the field spell, as well as the Scream is making everything lower here. And now we could go for the Turbulence effect, I believe, but unless I'm mistaken. I'm not 100% perfect on all my Rescue Ace cards. I still am practicing the deck. I've just been playing the Fire King version instead. I guess it's your card effect and not by battle. Okay. So it is kind of hard for them to kind of find a way to trigger that that copy of the big Turbulence. We do go up and out into an SP, and SP is going to try to banish the Turbulence there, and that's going to resolve. But we do choose to activate the King Sark here, sending that Tear Cache to the graveyard, allowing us to dump the second Horus monster here, being the Happy. Now, I don't think that we're too happy to see this. Honestly, it's going to be kind of busted that we can just keep summoning out the bodies. And they keep coming back no matter what. So they're great for link climbing turn 0 or going into an XYZ and then just being able to continuously come back. It's quite a problematic card, especially in a slower game state like this. Or when you can back it up with those tier cards, allowing you to do some crazy shenanigans like we see currently. A lot of crazy end boards end on like Mud Dragon for non-targeting protection going second, making it so that their card can't really interact with you like the way they want to, which is going to be just insane. And then also you have the SP Little Knight going to be able to banish stuff. And we do go for a Sprint. Sprint can now dump the Merly from the deck, and then you'll be wondering, well, why do you want to get rid of your SP for a Merly? It's just fusion summoning. Well, being able to fusion summon is low-key crazy in this deck. You only get 3 available every turn. And you can go up into crazy monsters like this copy of Draco's Stapelia. Now, if you guys did not know about Draco's Stapelia has an amazing effect that can turn stuff into 0, and then they just don't, when they activate, they just don't resolve. It's not like Imperm where they can't not activate the effect anymore. They can activate it, it just does not resolve with effect, which is pretty crazy when it has like some nice interactions like that. Like you're able to still like Imperm it and stuff like that, or whatever, droplets it. But we're going to be seeing them destroy the Hydrant, which is then going to be allowed us to bring back out the Raging Phoenix. But it's still going to be kind of problematic still for us. Like, we're not doing great in this thing. We do have a Wanted, which can allow us to now search for a Diabell Star, which can get us back right into the game, because we'll be able to set the Deception. And we have gotten rid of a whole bunch of cards. Now, the problem is we have the Fenrir that we have to handle. Now, that's going to be one of the bigger issues for us. But we might see a potential battle phase just beat over, because the Raging Phoenix is going to be higher than the Fenrir. But at that point, they're still going to be wasting their battle phase and making so that they're not able to clear your board. Now, that's going to be pretty fine for some of it, because you still have the Happy, which can come back anyways. But, you know, you're going to be living another turn regardless here. So we are going to be thinking on this, and they do... I don't think they have a way to clear the Raging Phoenix, or having a way to clear the Fenrir there. So we are just going to go battle phase, attack into the Fenrir, making them take 400 damage, I believe. It's not boosted by anything because Hydrant is a 0/0 body. But then we can go Impulse on a normal summon. And this is going to allow us to negate, I believe, the effects of Dracostapelia. Which makes us not being able to activate the effects, and it's just going to kind of like force a Dracostapelia to activate, I believe. But it does like get that effect gone off the field, which is going to be pretty nice. We do send the Raging Phoenix to the graveyard for a Diabell Star now, which can then place the Deception. So, you know, it's pretty nice for us going to now be able to go up into the Azamina cards because our opponent can no longer activate the Dracostapelia. It's kind of nice, crazy, but we have a Tier Cache in the hand, which can then activate, milling 5 more cards with that Scream. Or I guess 6 cards because of the Scream. I keep getting the effects mistaken, which then banishes, but I keep thinking like which one sends the most. But we do go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, and then we chain an Impulse to this, which can then summon out from the deck. I believe we're going to be summoning out... it has to be a machine, right? So we can summon out either a Hydrant or a Turbulent at this point. But we're going to go for the Hydrant. And then we are going to be milling the 6 cards here. We do hit a Chibi Karma and a Grief. So we have 2 effects that can activate. But do we have any good search targets as well? We get to add back, obviously, the Trap. But then we have the Chibi Karma there, which can search. But we're going to be seeing the Hydrant now going to be able to activate its effects, allowing us to search for a Airlifter, which is at 1. So pretty nice being able to search that. We can then normal summon it, because I don't believe we have normal summon this turn yet. But this is one long game. Both these decks are both long combo decks here. So we do see the Airlifter. Or, no, we can't. We did normal summon the Impulse. So they also forgot as well. Kind of funny that we did. We both kind of forgot, but we're going to see Deception activating, which is going to contributing off the Airlifter from the hand to set the Hallowed Azamina from the deck, or add the Hallowed Azamina from the deck. We're then going to activate the effect, sending the Deception to summon out the Ring Glacio, whatever it's called. That's going to then activate the effect, allowing us to search for a Sinful Spoils. And we can go for either an OSS or a Wanted here, but we're going to go for the OSS. And now we're just going to look at our opponent is pretty low on resources, but they are. So we're gonna go dark, and then take the SP perhaps, or the Steady, but they still have a way to kind of send the Kingstar to the graveyard. We have no way to send the Kingstar to the graveyard here, so we're gonna be adding back the Hallowed Azamina by shuffling back the Moon Glacio, whatever it's called. Pardon me. And we do then go Hallowed Azamina, and we can summon out the other one here by sending the OSS. So we actually play a third. I have never seen this card being played before. The Soul Excheron, the common. You can target one card, send it to on the field, send it to the graveyard, and then you can target one Azamina card in your graveyard, add it back to the hand during the standby phase. That's pretty interesting. So we are going to be able to send the Happy to the graveyard here. I wonder why we didn't send the King Sark. Would Happy have triggered potentially, which is why we chose not to do that there. But then we go for the OSS, which can search for a Poplar. So we are playing the Fire King, or the Snake Eyes cards as well here. Then we get to put back to draw a card with the Wanted. I wonder if we're surely playing Snake Eyes Ash if we're also playing Poplar, right? This is a 45 card list, so I'm not exactly sure what they are playing like completely in their deck. But we're going to go up into the SP now. SP can then banish, and we can just banish the King Sark there, so now they have no longer access to their Horus engine. But we are getting close to time, honestly. Like, this is going to be sped up at like 1.8 times speed. So this is going to be like probably around the 40-minute mark. And we are only on turn 3 here. So we're going to be thinking on what we can kind of go up into next. We're going to link away for a Promethean as well as Poplar. We don't even activate Poplar there. We're going to be summoning out the Preventer. I mean, we don't really need to go for the Poplar. Like, if we don't have any access to anything else, we can't really find a way to go for it. But we go up into a Raging Phoenix, which is going to be able to discard to send to the graveyard the Solic, and then we get to draw additional card as well, and then the Preventer will be able to summon out the Turbulence, and we get to add a Solic from the deck because Scream touched the graveyard, but that's not going to do very much for us here. And then we're going to go for the Typhon, and then Typhon can then attach to bounce back that Dracosepelia. And we have dealt with so much of this. We're able to set 2 cards here and pass, and that's going to be absolutely insane. We have dealt with this tier board after they broke our board, and then we're going to be able to put back... We're activate Turbulence, being able to set the Emergency from the deck. That's going to be the only card that we can set. That's going to be crazy. We are going to be seeing the Tribute Camera banishing to search for the field spell, and we have broken this board. But unfortunately, with under a minute left on the clock, we are going to be seeing the tier player end up winning by only 100 life points there, having to clear that Kashtira Fenrir and making that 400 difference. But when we attacked over the Raging Phoenix, we ended up making them take 500. So we see 100 life points difference here, end up taking the game. And that was only in turn 3 of game 1. We saw a crazy board breaking, and we had the Imperm being set. I mean, honestly, this was looking like it was Rescue Ace's game. But always let me know in the comment section down what you guys think. We are going to be seeing the tier player end up taking with only 100 life points there, and the difference. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Just stay safe. Peace.